Hello everybody. Today I'll be talking about the new browser which the browser companies came up with called Dia. And many people are speculating that they have potentially killed their revolutionary browser which they had originally came up with called Arc. So, first, let's dive into this new browser which they've came up with. So, actually, this browser looks very similar to the ChatGPT interface. So when we look at the ChatGPT chat box and the Dia chat box, it kind of looks very similar. So leaving that, there are actually two modes of search in this browser. So for example, I want to know what rocket propulsion is. So what is rocket propulsion? So there's a chat mode where it uses ChatGPT and other AI LLMs, and the other mode, which is just normal Google, which all of us are used to now. So first, let's look at the chat mode. So first, it's gonna use AI and ChatGPT 4.1, and it's gonna give me a detailed explanation on rocket propulsion. Another feature of this chat mode is that it can also use web search in chat, so it will compile all the information it can find using different sites. It's gonna give it citations as well, pretty sure, and it's gonna give us a detailed explanation from these websites such as Wikipedia and others, and necessarily give us most of the information we need. Then the second feature which this browser is advertising is mentioning tabs. So for example, I have a tab on rocket propulsion again. Okay, I have, for example, I want to open this tab, and then I want to open another tab on the same topic. So I'll open up another tab, and then what necessarily you can do is you can go to the search box, you can mention the open tabs, and you can ask your questions regarding them. So for example, I want to compare these two resources. So it's going to necessarily compare both of these websites, and it's going to give us a detailed explanation of both of them. So the first website and the second website right over here. So it gives us a detailed explanation of both of them, and then it gives us its own take as well so that we can understand it. Okay, we're done with that. Then another feature is that, for example, you're on a website. Let's change up the topic a bit. Let's go to histology. What is histology? Let's go over here. Let's open up a website such as Britannica, and let's open chat over here, and we can ask a question about this page. So give me an overview of this website. So it's necessarily gonna pull out all of the information from this website and give us a nice detailed explanation. Or we just want to summarize the key points. It can also do that. So this is kind of basic stuff. I'll be able to do all of this and just find out all the information you really need. Nothing too complex. Where it does get interesting though is you can go on YouTube, and surprisingly it is good enough to provide very perfect translations according to me when I tested it with different languages. I don't know how it works out for all of you guys, but for me it worked quite well. So for example, if I'm watching a video in another language, such as Hindi, what I found was that when I wanted to search up a particular topic and where it came up in that video, it was able to give me the exact time frame and the exact place where the teacher was talking about it. So this is actually extremely useful for research students, and even the browser company has been really just marketing it for research students lately. So they've been really giving students a lot of stuff here. Like they've they've allowed people with college accounts to be able to download Dia and have an early access for it. I didn't know that before because it's something new and I needed to wait quite a million years for a Dia invite. But we are here and I have used it for quite a while now. So another feature now, let's go on that, personalization. You can use personalization. You can personalize your answers. That's what the browser company has been advertising a lot. So, who inspires or shapes your taste? I wrote Jeff Dean. What else would help? You can just write something which you want and which, like, how you want it to respond. And then, how do you want to write? I had a very big problem where I was using this for a math equation and it won't write the square root symbol. I'll keep writing the square root code, and I tried to fix it, but it didn't work out. When I went to the ChatGPT app and the ChatGPT website, everything was working out, but I don't know why. Over here, particularly, I needed to go to personalization and do this to get it to work, and even now it kind of is fiddly, but it works most of the time. So yeah, there are still some bugs, but you can't really push it too far because it's in its beta right now. It's still not completely filled up yet. And it has, of course, the basic features as usual: bookmarks. You have your pinned tabs. You can also change your profiles. It's very similar to how Safari works. This profile part. So yeah, my basic thoughts on this is they didn't really need to make a new browser for this whole thing. They could have just added these features to Arc. They necessarily killed Arc for this browser and they're not really doing anything over here either. The only updates I've seen now on Arc are Chromium updates. There's nothing cool anymore. It's not revolutionary anymore. And it's kind of sad, to be honest. But it's the truth, and truth is bitter. But I hope they're able to turn this browser around at least, or maybe bring Arc back to life, though it seems extremely hard. But yeah, this is basically mostly the end of the browser company, according to me, if they're not able to pull all of this apart and put it into place. So this is my review on the browser Dia. This is MTech signing out.